Welcome to the 271st episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle executive editor Eric Schwartz, and we're also joined in spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, The Roof Doctor, and not so much in spirit, in person by Kelli Erb from Chehalis Outfitters. Kelli, how the hell are you?
I am great.
You gotta at least have her title, too. She's executive store manager.
Oh, executive store manager.
Well, he throws executive on my title,
on
and it's not there, and he does it every week. So,
so we can just make it up.
So you are now executive, store manager.
Okay, all right.
What is your title? Editor-in-chief?
And you're assistant executive podcast manager for CT
I'm
Publishing.
still ass editor, I think. Is
I'm
my
the only one who knows how
official
to run the board, so I guess you're fine.
You got to keep him around.
Yeah, apparently. So, do you guys have any preambles before we get going? I have one that I'll get to in a second, but...
Okay. Let's talk about what we were talking about before we came on, which was the Dirty Rotten Thief over at Chehalis Outfitters.
Yeah, hit us. What happened?
There
Did
was
you see two
No,
in the
no.
last couple of weeks?
We shared the guy who you very clearly had video of taking ammo from one box, putting it into another box, and then stealing it. And that's kind of where we left it. I just shared it, didn't think twice about it.
No, I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, he was, being sneaky, but I will find you. I might not catch you in the act. He had just been helped by one of our staff, and he came around the corner and dumped out some cheaper ammo, took some $90 ammo in its place, and paid for the $40 ammo.
It looked like he'd done it before in the video, too. Like, it was not a first time.
He's not a first time.
So this was like a theoretical profit for him of like $50.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Times are tough.
You don't want to spend money on ammo, I guess. I don't know what you're going to do with that ammo.
And then what was the second case that I'm unaware of?
Our dirt bag thief.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Stole 10 bags of almost $20 bags of dirt in the middle of the night.
Who's getting
just
up
like some
in
potting soil kind of stuff?
Potting soil, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Tis the season. You did say that you were starting your garden pretty soon. As soon as you acquired some soil, I believe you said.
I did say that.
Are you buying soil offline?
I wasn't buying it.
Did that individual get caught?
Soil.
I know who he is. Yeah, we're working a case right now.
Would you say you have the dirt on him?
I do have the dirt on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's excellent.
A lot of people like to rat people out. So
how much was the dirt valued at that he took?
Almost $200.
Almost $200.
Yeah,
it's a lot of dirt.
Yeah, it was 10 bags and they're about $20 a pop. So.
And I assume when he did, he had to have his truck parked nearby or something, right?
So he rolled up about 1:20 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Him and his partner in crime.
Uh-huh.
And they just rolled up right next to the dirt and loaded it up. And
did they think there was no cameras?
I know.
Have they
I
never
don't,
been to Chehalis
I only have
Outfitters?
a million cameras.
Or the internet? What?
Yeah, right?
Huh.
It surprises me every time because you're the only local business that routinely shames thieves. Because there's some that from time to time they'll be like, hey, have you seen this? But Chehalis Outfitters to me is kind of synonymous with don't mess around.
Don't mess with us.
You're gonna
I will find you.
You're going to end up viral locally.
Yeah, yeah.
In not a good way.
If somebody rats somebody out for their theft from Chehalis Outfitters, do they get like a coupon?
Ooh, I should start doing that if it leads to
If it leads to an arrest, like a reward, 20% off your next pair of Georgia boots or whatever.
That's a good idea. I should have a program for that.
Yeah.
Another possibility, you get your criminal charges wiped if they don Chehalis Outfitters gear during your spring fashion show at the end, and we all get rotten fruit to throw at them and yell, shame, shame, shame.
Oh, that sounds like a Game of Thrones thing.
Wrapping this up with the walk of shame.
The walk of shame.
People would love that.
They would.
They would probably get more audience.
It would bring out a crowd.
They'd bring in battery-powered tomatoes.
Put them all down the line.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
And when is the next spring? We're gearing up since we're
spring fashion show is April 17th, Friday night, a couple weeks out.
Oh, that's coming up fast.
All right.
We're going to have food again, so come hungry. Food, drinks, giveaways, swag bags for the first 25 people.
Okay.
Did you experience any mutinies from staff that did it last time that are like, I can't do that again?
My maintenance kid told me that today.
Oh,
but
brutal.
I'll voluntold him, though. He's doing it.
I mean, I'm sure you had it written into the job descriptions early on.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's all in there. That's my only preamble.
Okay. Mine is there are too many apps. Not everything needs an app or an account or a password.
Oh, my gosh.
I was really just in a mood yesterday. I tried to check the balance on my HSA, And usually you can just log in, go to a little website, log in. It's got 2-factor authentication. It's a little lengthy, but still. And this time they wanted an app and a passkey with biometric info. And so I gave up and called customer service. And everybody knows I hate making phone calls. And the customer service rep mentioned at least 3 times that I could check my balance on the app or the website, and I pretended not to hear her. And then I went back after getting my balance and left a long, detailed, aggressively personal review on the app and the website. And then I got off the phone, and they'd sent me another email asking to take a survey about their customer service rep. So I got to let him have it one more time.
Oh.
Wow.
Anyway, we have enough apps. I have stopped buying new clothing, and I think I'm going to stop downloading new apps, too.
All new apps, huh?
You don't want to download ours?
If you guys haven't...
Do you remember when
Yes.
the Chronicle launched its app?
I do.
Oh, yeah,
both
yeah.
of you
So
remember,
Kelly, she used to be a designer here for a long time.
I was
design
thinking about
director.
that when I was writing this, yes.
But then it only worked if you had an iPad, if I remember correctly. Like it would
Weird like
only
that.
only if you had a brand new iPad. It wouldn't work on mobile. It wouldn't
Yeah,
work
it was-
on any other tablet.
It was well
And
done.
Yeah, that was something. And our new website provider tried to sell us on an app too, and I was like, how's this any different than old cronline.com? And it's not. It's just not. Most news apps aren't. They're just the websites in app form.
It is.
So,
Yeah, and you know what? I'm coming for QR codes, too. Hate those.
Oh, man, don't let Chad hear you on that one.
I know. There's QR codes on the front page of the sports section. Every time I'm laying it out, I'm like,
Have you ever tried the QR code? Maybe it takes you somewhere real cool.
No. It takes you to, like, Chad's personal photo collection.
Could be. It should be a surprise.
That would be fun. All right, that's all the preambles I've got.
I do always kind of chuckle at us offering our print subscribers QR codes. So like they could access that information on the phone if they wanted to, but they have gone out of their way to get it in paper form, and we're like,
Yeah. Yeah, anytime you get a piece of paper that's like, have you tried the internet? I'm like, no. I don't think I will either.
Well, I'm sorry you had a bad time on the app.
Well, I
Did you ever get your balance?
I did, yeah.
Good.
The entire process of actually getting the balance on the phone took 35 seconds. It was great.
Do you know if you were talking to a real rep or if
It
you were
was a
talking to
real
an AI rep?
Her name was Isabella, I think, and she was very polite.
Sounds like an AI to me.
She was real.
Maybe
She was real to me.
It was her situation.
Yeah, it is.
Call log's gonna come out.
I fall asleep with the call to Isabella playing on my, yeah. All right, news items. First up, former Timberland Regional Library trustees support a call for investigation amid budget crisis and layoffs. 8 former board members are supporting the call for an independent investigation into the library's operations amid sweeping layoffs and an ongoing budget crisis. The board is facing major public backlash after it granted Executive Director Cheryl Haywood blanket authority on February 25th to lay off staff in response to a $3.8 million deficit. The move was opposed by hundreds of local commenters, including library workers union reps and local government officials ahead of the meeting. After a couple weeks of negotiations with the union, they sent layoff notices to 44 employees on last Sunday, after accepting 17 voluntary layoffs. Not great. I was just at the library, too. Got a book.
No, it's horrible. I mean,
Real book?
Yeah, a real book. And then the book was like, have you tried a QR code?
Do you want to listen to it?
Yeah.
I don't know how it's defensible, because it hasn't been defended yet, that every single person laid off is a frontline employee and they didn't touch the administrators. And the fact that you have an executive director who makes $225,000 a year is not shocking, but that their administrative assistant makes $125,000 a year is pretty surprising.
Yeah,
and then you
could
have
get
an employee experience director who's also making $100,000, but you can't find anyone to cut but librarians and librarian aides and part-time staff. It just sounds wild to me.
That's a little tough to swallow there.
Yeah. So I get why all these. Did you list off the names of the folks?
No,
The
we can pull
former
that
members?
up though.
I think we had their names in.
There were some people you may know in there.
Yeah, we had Bob Hall, Corby Varnes, Brian Zylstra, Edna Fund, Brenda Hershey, Jean Weaver, Judy Weaver, and Nicolette Oliver were the names.
Okay.
That was included on that. And I agree. I think that they should investigate. I don't understand how you can be like surprised we have a deficit this big. And the only thing we can do is fire the people that make the libraries open.
That's what the library is people with the books.
Yeah. So there was an executive session last week, and there was some thought. I saw some blogs pontificating that maybe the director, Cheryl Haywood's job was in trouble, but there was no subsequent announcement of that. So
Interesting.
Yeah, I have yet to hear the argument of how you defend that. That
Kelli,
level.
we of course need to get you on the record. Are you pro or against library?
I'm pro-library.
Okay.
I haven't stepped foot in one for, quite some time.
Yeah, but it's there if you need a book or something. Yeah.
I mean, we need real hard, it's just like the paper.
Yeah.
You got to be able to touch something and read it.
Yeah. All right. And then we have an item. Plenty of people announced they're running for offices. First up, Cheeseman officially announces Lewis County Sheriff run. This is Ken Cheeseman. Officially announced his campaign last week. He's the longest serving law enforcement officer to enter the race with more than 40 years of service with the sheriff's office. Was he with the State Patrol at one point too?
He was with CGA, the Criminal Justice Training Commission, for a while. Maybe the State Patrol, but I don't recall that. He was with the Sheriff's Office for decades.
He lost a race to Steve Mansfield about 15 years ago. He said his goal would be to tackle local crime with education, prevention, and communication. Sounds fine to me. Any thoughts on Cheeseman?
He's the first guy to have like a really, really original thought to me. Not, like they all have their own ideas on how they would do things. I know that, but he specifically coming out and being like, hey, we could learn a thing or two from the firefighters. I bet you the firefighters really love to see that.
I bet they did too.
The story. So I thought that was interesting. So we have, have you gone through the list? We have Cheeseman, Danny Reardon. We're still looking to do an article about his campaign. And then we've already done some stories on Tracy Murphy and Matt McKnight.
All right.
So, and then there's at least one other potential candidate who's filed with PDC, but we don't know about yet.
Okay, and then Frank Corbin announces his campaign for the Lewis County Auditor, Napa Vine resident. He is joining what is a relatively quiet county race so far. In his announcement, he highlighted many years of local service, serving on a range of local boards, and said his campaign would focus on maintaining public trust. Yeah, all right.
There was, and so this is to replace Larry Grove. There was one other candidate who announced today, Merrill for auditor.
Is that Mitchell Merrill?
Yeah, I believe that's right. Yeah, Mitchell Merrill. He had his announcement today at the Veterans Memorial Museum, I believe.
Younger guy.
Appears to be younger, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Maybe it's just a really old photo, though. You never know.
And then the other candidate who has at least filed PDC paperwork is your boy, Mitchell Townsend. I don't know why you're laughing over there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say my boy, Mike Bannon.
Oh,
I was well, he is also filed.
No, he did file. I think he filed like a PDC note.
He didn't actually, file to run.
Right. No one has yet. That does not happen until May, I believe.
Okay, fine. Whatever. All right. And then Aberdeen City Councilor challenges hometown state rep Jim Walsh for legislative seat. Kevin Moynihan is the first challenger to materialize for a state representative seat currently held by state GOP chair and state rep Jim Walsh of Aberdeen. He announced his campaign to become a representative for the 19th Legislative District Thursday. He's running as a Democrat. In the Thursday announcement, he said he would run his campaign on a platform of lowering costs for working families, rebuilding the state's coastal economy, bolstering public schools, and highlighting accountability in Olympia. Walsh immediately responded with a photoshopped image of Moynihan with devil horns and a red cape, and Joel McIntyre jumped in the comments to call him a pedophile. It was the most productive thing either politician had done for their constituents in weeks.
Well, certainly your take on the matter. I see that Rep. McIntyre has been squabbling with local cheeseman, local cheeseman, not to be confused with the sheriff candidate, Kyle Wheeler, in the comments of various Facebook posts in an email chain that we have been added to.
Yeah, I saw some of those. Look, it's a shitty look for a politician.
No, I agree.
Jesus
I agree.
Christ.
I was just using it as a bridge to get to the fact that I think it's going to result in, or already has, into a criminal complaint from Wheeler of harassment by McIntyre, which is something we will probably be reporting on.
I think that sounds like news.
But we'll see. Last time we tried to report on this type of activity from McIntyre specifically, he did not return a call. Did not call us back, which ended up being what sparked this fight. Yeah, he did jump in the comments. So we'll see how it goes.
Don't learn.
Yeah. You know what? I bet he would rather use a QR code than make a phone call.
Possibly. It's convenient, Aaron.
Sure.
It's just...
And then we've got some dueling protests coming up this weekend. There's a No Kings 3 protest to be held in Centralia on March 28th.
Well, there's one in Centralia, there's one in Olympia, and then...
There's a lot of them.
One in Pacific County. Those are the ones that we've written about. And there's, I think, thousands, aren't there, across the country?
There's going to be a lot of them.
But yeah. And then the next one, the other protest.
Counter protest, no King Ferguson.
Don't call it a counter protest. It was a coincidence, Aaron.
Yeah, mainly to protest the millionaire tax, of course. The intern writes, I hope they end up on either side of the street outside the library.
No, they'll be in Olympia, but there will be 2 different protests going on at the Capitol campus. I'm hoping to send Otto up. Are you going to be there? You going to be protesting?
No, I will be.
You should stand in between them with a sign for each.
I've recently come into quite a bit of soil, and I'm going to be planting it.
Digging.
Good.
Digging some dirt.
Doing some shooting after that?
Yeah, maybe I will. It's a real high-quality ammo. You should come check it out.
You can come learn about canning.
I should do that. Do you have any other?
Tell us more about canning. How about
tell us about
in-house. We have our in-house. No, you're not interrupting. We were done.
Yeah, when are the canning things going on at Chehalis Outfitters?
Saturday.
This Saturday.
During the protests. I hope they, doesn't lower my attendance.
So do I.
I think you got 2 different sets of people when we're talking the protesters and the canners, right?
Could be.
Well, you're going to learn about canning your own zins, right?
Yeah. If you guys wanted to do that, if you did a make your own
zin.
Yeah, that'd be highly attended around here.
All right. Well, I'll see what I can do on
Something to consider.
All right. What other news items do we have? Or should
we uploaded from today's edition. We've got Chehalis welcomes 2 new members, a couple new firefighters there. Yesterday was the procession for Trooper Justin Schaefer, 6 years after he was struck and killed on the freeway. Mm-hmm. It's something they've been doing every year. They also had the Skull and Crossbones Coffee Shop every year raises money for the Schaefer Scholarship Fund. So we had that going on.
Is that the one in Adna, probably?
Yeah, I think so. Napavine, you know what? I'm going to save that for Heroes of the Week because it looks like you're a little thin in that category down there.
Yeah.
Okay. We can hit the rest in a roundup at the end.
All right, we're going to take a break.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back. It's time for segments. First up is fan favorite, Tales from the Takes page. What's going on your personal opinion section?
Today I did a thing I haven't rarely done. I don't have an opinion page in Thursday's edition. It was going to be a bunch of letters.
I thought you were going to say you edited some of the copy.
I always edit the copy. That's
on the opinion page.
It's a hell of a thing for you to say. I see those sports pages that come back looking like a blind man laid them out.
Julie McDonald writes, a Play Cueto exhibit at the Lewis County Museum likely to spark memories. This is about stuff going on in Cueto a long time ago.
Play Cueto.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. A letter to the editor about somehow Iran and Costco at the same time.
That was Ray Chapman Wilson. He had a story. He went to Costco and he got samples, and one of the ladies providing the samples was from Iran.
Oh.
That's pretty much the whole thing. When it came to writing a headline, that's what you get. Iran and a Costco interaction, because I had nothing else.
Yeah. I told you about my trip to Costco yesterday.
We have Jim Stafford's once annual creative arts offerings at Centralia College are at an all-time low letter. He's been writing that one for the last couple of years. Just thinks there should be more arts. I agree, don't you, Aaron? Reaching for the stars.
I appreciate the arts. Yeah. People forget that.
They do.
And we've got Matt Marshall and John Braun both writing about taxes bad.
Mm-hmm. No, specifically just the income tax. But
John Braun.
I don't think that they'd be a fan of any other tax either, though.
No matter what income tax backers say, there's no free lunch. Braun was on the Capitol for Beef Day. I'm pretty sure he had a free lunch.
Column is about the fact that they're saying that the income tax is going to provide free lunch, and that's not actually in the income tax. It was at one point and got stripped out with a promise that we'll do something about it later, maybe if we can find the money. But that's like the thing that they're loudly proclaiming is it's going to give kids free lunch, and it doesn't do that.
Oh, let's see. We've got another column from Amanda McKinney, Millionaire's Tax Bad, and one from Jim Walsh, Millionaire's Tax Bad, John McCroskey. Oh, and then we're back to McCroskey.
What are you talking about? Jim Walsh was talking about a double voting bill. You're just rambling now.
Oh, he did.
Are you all you've seen is income tax on here? Is that how obsessed you have become?
I just assumed if everybody else is writing about the income tax, Walsh did too.
Oh, look, Julie McDonald, income tax sucks.
Wait, so
Zach
Walsh
Eckstein, Cowlitz Basin flooding needs a plan.
Let's
Income
get back.
tax good.
Let's give Walsh's column the attention it deserves. He sent out a press release bragging about, like he calls him the current governor, as if he's like up for election tomorrow.
No, he is the current governor. It's accurate. Eric.
Bragging about a bill he signed into law that discourages double voting. Isn't this what the kind of thing Walsh wanted? Like election security stuff?
No, that's the whole point of his column, and I completely disagree with it. I actually think that the court case itself, it's a Lewis County case. The guy voted in Lewis County, and then he also voted in Oregon. In the same election, the Lewis County Auditor's Office caught it. He was charged, found guilty, and then an appeals court found that the state's law on elections wasn't clear enough to say that two separate elections in different states would be the same as voting in one election. And so the whole bill was kind of a minor housekeeping, like to adjust the language. So like you clearly cannot vote in two different states, prevent any court from ruling otherwise in the future. And Walsh kind of parlayed that situation into, well, you're not giving the feds your voter rolls is my take on it for the most part, which I think.
But why would the feds want our voter rolls?
Ask the state of Idaho because they are upset about it too, and they're a very conservative state. Like I said, I don't agree with the premise of it at all. I continue to agree with you that there are so few cases of voter fraud. I refuse to just bend to the narrative and move forward in my thinking from there that just because one person is really upset about election they lost 6 years ago that I have to be concerned about my Lewis County Auditor's Office.
I think the Auditor's Office is doing fine work.
I think I agree
Kelly, how many times have you voted illegally?
Illegally? Oh, man.
Not counting Best of Lewis County. Not counting Best of Lewis County.
Best of Lewis County, you could vote every day.
I mean,
does Jim Walsh
if
think
you're
that
frauding,
Best of Lewis County voting is like the same as federal elections had the same process?
Could be.
Could be.
Maybe.
I mean, that could be what he
What
thinks.
if we had an app to vote? Now, there is an app I would download.
You and I have talked about the idea before where there are no candidates until like the last second and everyone just gets a text like, who do you want to be president? You all respond and whoever gets the most votes wins.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Just whatever name you can come up with.
Also, with the feds trying to like basically not nationalize elections, but get everybody on the same page voting the same way, why would we need an electoral?
I think you had it right the first time. Trump would like to nationalize the elections. I don't think you had that wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like...
the other piece of that is the U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments about counting mail-in ballots after election night and seemed like they were, according to the reporting, leaning in the direction of not allowing that anymore.
Sure.
So the 2026 election could be wild and interesting for the entire West Coast. We had the map up with the coverage of that U.S. Supreme Court issue. And so, yeah, West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington, and then several other states will all have a lot to figure out really quickly if one of those two things happens.
Yeah, I was reading some stats on that, and like in Washington, votes that arrived after it was like 3%.
Yeah, but
so
it turns races, though. I mean, if we're going by the mail-in ballots aren't allowed to be counted after election night. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
You want to talk about that?
Why are you talking to me? I'm was going to use it as the example. Or another larger, at least vote total example is maybe Joe Kent Congress, because we're not going to continue voting.
What was this thing like the ballots have to cure or send them in on the last day because...
I don't know.
There was some. I can't remember what it was, but there was some angle to that about like gaming the system by turning your ballots in at a designated time or something, which is just how voting works. But also,
right?
Yeah. All right. Anything else on the opinion page?
No, just every living person just bitching about the income tax, just as you suggested.
All right. Next item. History should.
If I had cropped those commentaries, you would have liked them.
I did some photo cropping, and I was like, you know what, Schwartz is going to see this, and he's going to be so butthurt.
Kelly would appreciate this. He doesn't know how to design if he can't crop a vertical into a horizontal and a horizontal into a vertical.
I do not crop.
When I call him out on it,
wildly
when I call him out on it, he's like, well, there's no other way to do it. And I'm just like, oh, what an embarrassment to a long line of proud designers here at Chronicle World Headquarters.
Horizontals into verticals. Sometimes I'll turn a rectangle into a more narrow rectangle.
You will take a perfect Ridley Hudson award-winning horizontal and turn it to a vertical for the rail, and you know it.
Sometimes I will do that.
Occasionally
I will do that. It's a goddamn one-column rail photo. You can't run a horizontal photo there.
You only get 1.9 inches. I mean,
you just need talent, man. I offered to show you this stuff.
I've seen you try to lay out pages.
On your ignorance.
Do you guys need me
come
back?
after my opinion editing ever again.
Yes. I want Kelly to come in and audit your laying out. We'll probably find out you're using Claude for the whole thing.
She talked to me about the holiday editions when we're really stretching to fill them, and she did call me out on a mugshot that somehow went to press at 4 columns. So
yeah, I've called you out on that too.
Big photos.
Yeah, Kelly, are
it's
you familiar?
the holidays. No one's doing anything.
Are
We
you
have
familiar,
to make up for it.
Are you familiar with the lazy man?
The lazy man chair.
So we invented. We started calling it like if you run an inside page with just a full 5-column photo and then story directly underneath it, we call that the lazy man.
Like
Schwartz
the
pulled
top
off a.
half or something?
We had
Schwartz
that
pulled
designer
off-
years ago, news designer, before we shifted over to you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention her name, but you probably remember. Our entire paper was Lazy Man, and it was that era where it would come out because this person was responsible for designing most of the paper. Every page, 5 columns, boom, boom. And it was the only time a reader ever sent us a letter calling us out on it. It just said, we know you're stretching the photos so you don't have to fill the rest of the page. I was like, oh, wily reader.
Schwartz pulled a triple lazy man the other day.
Triple.
It's called a king lazy man. It's when you do a full 5 columns across the top, second photo, 5 columns across the bottom, third photo, 4.5 columns across the middle with a cut line for all
on the
3
side.
on the right.
Oh,
in room for a header. It's really hard to pull off.
Where'd you put that? In the B
I don't even
section?
remember what.
Right in the garbage.
No, I did. I had it on B9. It was
knew it.
It was some like extra sports story. I don't really remember.
Yeah,
Anyways.
every time you mention that, I think of the meme of the Tony Snell box score. It's like 29 minutes, 0 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds. That's you designing pages.
It was just that one page.
History should repeat itself. A look back in time. Celebration planned for first electric light illumination in state. Chehalis residents put up largest cross of its kind, and money stolen from McQueen's. Where's McQueen's?
Yeah, it's in the write-up. I had to look it up too. It's kind of a shortened name for the business. My laptop just died though, so my prediction that you're in line for all
McQueen's
link
Southgate Food Center was broken into over the weekend back in 1966. It was at 1796 Market Street, Chehalis. Is that like where?
1796.
Yeah, is that like the old Fullers?
In Chehalis?
Yeah, the Fullers that turned into Ace
Lincoln
Hardware
Creek?
over there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. Anyway, somebody broke in 50 years ago, 60 years ago, and they made off with $1,500 in cash.
I think that that same item or that same history page had the story about the juvenile who, gosh, I don't have it in front of me. There's a juvenile many decades ago who was jailed and sentenced to death for shooting his girlfriend when she tried to break up with him when he was a teenager. Mm-hmm. And the news item is the governor clemency or whatever.
It was 1936. Governor
take it.
Clarence Martin commuted the death sentences of Merritt Hunter and Carl Patterson, 21 and 20. Merritt Hunter was from Olympia. Carl Patterson was from Yakima. The youths were to have been hanged in state prison at Walla Walla. Hunter for shooting to death in a jealous rage his former sweetheart, Lillian Conda, a pretty Japanese-American girl. I like that they point that out so you know what you're thinking about. Patterson killed William Simpson, a Yakima farmer, during an attempted robbery. Yet I can't, the governor said at the time, yet I cannot bring myself to believe that the people of this state demand the spectacle of hanging of 2 immature youths. Therefore, I am commuting their sentences from death to life imprisonment.
And ultimately, the one who shot his girlfriend got out of prison and killed his wife.
Oh,
Jesus.
That was the dark turn that
Jeez.
I was leading to.
Wow.
So came out and committed the exact same crime.
Okay. Well, on that note, Kelly, do you have any other events you want to tell us about?
I
She
do.
does.
We
Fishing,
do.
right?
Well,
Fishing?
yeah. So we got our canning seminar on Saturday at 1:30. We're talking about jam, hot water bath canning, and then next week we have our Easter Bunny photos coming up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Easter Sunday. So that's going to be fun. We're doing an Easter egg hunt inside the store as well. We're going to hide Easter eggs just all over. It's not like your traditional where we're throwing out eggs all over the floor.
You're stuffing these bad boys with ammo, aren't you?
I might.
Dirt.
Knives.
Dirt. Yeah.
Get yourself.
No, they have good little toys and some coupons and prizes, vouchers, So, yeah, we're going to hide 150 eggs on Saturday and 150 eggs on Sunday. And then the following weekend, we have another canning seminar on the 11th for asparagus. And then the fashion show on the 17th. And then on the 18th, I'm really excited. Oh, wait, I forgot. Back up. On April 4th, also Easter Bunny Day, we're doing a really cool, fun event where parents could bring in dads, uncles, whoever, bring in your kids. We're going to plant flowers with them. And then we're going to watch them grow all month long until Mother's Day. And so they can come back every week and take care of their plant. And we have activities each week that they could do. And then Mother's Day, they can come back and pick it up for their mom.
When is Mother's Day?
Like May 10th, 9th, 8th, I don't know, somewhere around that area.
Okay.
So that's going to be really fun. I'm excited about that. And then the kids fishing clinic, I'm super excited about as well. We're going to do stations. That's April 18th at 10 a.m. So they can come in. We're going to teach them everything, how to, rig their line or their pole, and teach them everything, how to bait it, their hooks and tie knots and all that kinds of stuff. So
that's 10 a.m. on the 18th.
Yes.
How long does that last?
Well, we'll see how many kids we have.
Can I abandon my child there for 3 hours and go take care of my own business?
Your older child, maybe.
No, I was thinking of my baby, but that's fine.
2-year-old might be a little hard.
Okay, fair enough.
We have 8 different stations that they could visit and learn all of the stuff, and then they're going to get a certificate, and they could win a, tackle box and a pole and, all the stuff.
All right. Sounds cool.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Should we do Sirens Banger of the Week?
Yeah, sure.
All right. We've got 2 on here. Tumwater man accused of armed robbery following a burglary of Centralia Arcade. He robbed the arcade. That
wasn't like his most major crime. It was after robbing the arcade, he took part in a pistol whipping and beating of a guy.
Oh.
And stole his wallet, keys, and cash and everything else. And yeah, go on, though.
This is Malachi Swadis. He had been wanted by Centralia Police for weeks before he was ultimately captured in Fife during an apparent shift at a local Jimmy John's restaurant on Wednesday. Oh, this is the Jimmy John's runner.
I like how he was going to jump over the counter.
Yeah, he stole approximately $140 worth of candy and toys, and also pistol whipped somebody.
Yes, that is the armed robbery is the crime here. You're getting a little too focused on the art. Not that I don't feel bad for Insert Coin, because there's been a number of times I've walked by there and the window's shattered. And a lot of times we don't get the information on exactly what happened because I'm sure they're investigating and trying to arrest the folks who did it.
Yeah. Okay. And then the other one we've got.
Oh, you got to spend a little more time on that one because that one had some fun little wrinkles. He had a previous court appearance before this arrest. Farmer, our reporter, was telling me he had given a name for his private counsel for that, and apparently it came out in this hearing that may have not been a real person and certainly wasn't a real attorney. And he was continuing to try to buy time in court with, you give me a little more time to reach my attorney and we'll be able to figure this out before, I believe, eventually relenting for a appointed guy.
What was it? Did he have like a cool name for the private counsel or something?
I don't remember off the top of my head. It is in the story though. And then, they went up and got him up north in Fife, or I believe it was Fife. And he was working his shift at Jimmy John's. And that was one of the questions you always get asked at your preliminary appearance, whether you have like money to get a job, responsibility.
Yeah. It sounds like he was on the right track.
The judge asked, do you have a job? And he was like, I used to. And then the CPD just did a little more extra than they normally do by showing the photo of him trying to stand on the counter and looks like he's tried to stand, got knocked down, and then shows him next to the car outside. But yeah, anyways.
Okay.
There's that Sirens Banger of the Week.
The other one is the a juvenile referred to Lewis County Juvenile Court for third-degree theft, domestic violence, minor in possession of alcohol, and resisting arrest after allegedly stealing an alcoholic beverage from a family household member and fleeing from law enforcement on North Washington Avenue on March 22nd, to which I say, who among us?
Do you think he just snatched it out of somebody's hand?
I like to think this little whippersnapper just saw his uncle.
It's a whippersnapper.
His uncle drinking a wine cooler or whatever, and he just casually walked by and snagged it and pounded it and then ran away.
I'm assuming he consumed the entire beverage as well.
You should hope so. If you're gonna take the fall for that kind of shit, better get the most out of it.
Chug.
Yeah.
The other Sirens Banger of the Week never made it to Sirens, but I was telling you about it early last week. There was a woman in court. She had, back it up. A deputy had responded to a part of an abandoned trailer in the middle of a road in Winlock, and when he went there and knocked on it, nobody answered. So he called a tow truck. Tow truck starts to move it, and all of a sudden a woman starts yelling from the inside that she was in there, comes out. She had no idea she had been hauled off of the property she was living on by a property owner and dumped in the middle of the street because she was sleeping.
It's one way to get rid of them.
She gave a false name because she had a municipal court warning. Anyways, it didn't end up making the paper, but I thought it would be good for Siren's Banger of the Week.
Maybe her issue was that her roof was under the weather.
There you go.
And instead of becoming arrested, she should have simply called the roof doctor.
That would have solved all her problems.
At 360-736-0246, the roof doctor is awaiting your house call. They offer free estimates. They'll show up, check your roof out, tell you, what's wrong with it. Maybe they'll just be like, hey, this roof's sick. You need nothing from us. This roof is in good health. Or maybe you need, some emergency roofing repair, roof and gutter cleaning, metal roof installation, commercial roofing, or some solar slapped up there. Just give them a call. They'll hook you up. Their web address is theroofdoctor.com. And you know what? They don't have an app.
Oh, really? Have you checked?
Yep, I looked. No app.
They're pretty good about getting quotes and everything.
They're
great. Really great.
Yeah.
Do you think, if you had a nice piece of property but not a house yet, and you called the roof doctor out there and be like, hey, can you give me a roof? I can't afford the rest of the house just yet. Do you think that they would build you a roof on site for you to later put on a home that you could save to afford? Just to lock in today's roof prices?
Yeah, probably. I mean, they say when you buy a fixture-upper, the first thing, you fix the roof first.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the same thing when you're building a house. I don't know. I haven't built one. Start with the roof.
It's worth asking. Give them a call.
Anyway, People's Champion of the Week, I have nurses.
Nurses is pretty good. The Centralia College had their first spring cohort. There's 20 of them. It's the first.
There are 20 students during a pinning ceremony, is what they call it. So
that's pretty good. I've also got David Rutherford, the CTE director at Napavine School District. He won a regional CTE Instructor of the Year award and is up for the state award now.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Kelly, do you have any People's Champions of the Week you want to mention?
Of course, our staff.
There you go.
Do you guys do an Employee of the Month?
I do not, but I do shout-outs.
Okay.
We have a team huddle every Sunday, and, we get compliments from different staff or from different customers about staff and everything. So we always do shout-outs during our huddles and everything. I have to say, we have a really great staff, so they're my people of the week.
What is your longest serving employee? Do you know? Somebody that's been there pre-Chehalis Outfitters?
So Cindy, she's in customer service most of the time. She's been there 20-some years.
Wow.
And Kimmy over in clothing has been there 20-something years. Both of them have been there many, many years. Cindy's going to retire this year.
Oh.
Okay. We should have Cindy on the pod.
Yeah.
Non-committal.
Yeah, so I would be too. All right. Any other news items you want to cover?
No, I don't think so. Are you sparing us of Facebook comments of the week?
I did not pull any Facebook comments of the week this week.
What a shame. We covered the Centralia Top Chef event today. We did the Chehalis one last week.
They're so cute.
Yeah. Could have been a good People's Champion of the Week too if we had thought of it. But
I'm looking at the Snapvine CTE director, and every time I see CTE director for a high school, I think it's a concussion thing.
Yeah, you think concussion thing.
Watch too much football.
They are like one of the there's a few different competing acronyms out there that refuse to bend for another acronym, and CTE is one of them. But I would hope that you would assume he's not the director of Napavine Concussion Programming.
I know. Well,
that's Jake Fay.
That's Josh Fay.
Josh Fay. I'm sorry, different Fay.
Let's see. What else do we have? We've some siren stuff I don't really want to get into.
Yeah, you hit all the highlights.
Yeah. All right, we can wrap it up there. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Chehalis Outfitters, for being a beloved sponsor of this program. We're also sponsored by Summit Funding and the Roof Doctor. Leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcast if you want, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.